The Vision has stood tall over Raw since establishing itself as an unstoppable force on Monday nights after WrestleMania 41. Would Seth Rollins and company be able to continue that trend this week at the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, where Braun Breaker squared off with former World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso in the main event? Find out with this recap of last night's show, which also featured Women's World Champion Naomi addressing the fans after being deemed, quote, medically uncleared to compete on last week's show, and the latest defense from Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch. Hey there, welcome everybody to another edition of Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom, Michael Bullock. Before we get into Monday Night Raw, I want to quickly run down the results of the TNA Emergence special that went down last Friday night on the TNA Plus app from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. And they are as follows. We had two pre-show matches on this card. In the first one, we had Rosemary squaring off against Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell winning that match in 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Then we had Ryan Nemeth squaring off against the Hometown Man. Hometown Man wins the match, 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Now we're on to the main card. TNA X Division Championship on the line. Champion Leon Slater, his first title defense after his epic and emotional victory over Moose at Slammiversary. Leon Slater defending against Cedric Alexander. Winner of the match in 14 minutes and 28 seconds, and still the TNA X Division champion. It is Leon Slater. Then we had Mustafa Ali squaring off against Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona winning the match, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And then we had Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards of the System squaring off against AJ Francis and Rich Swann of First Class. First Class wins the match, 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Mike Santana versus Sami Callihan originally was supposed to be a regular match, but they changed it into a Baltimore street fight. Mike Santana wins the match in 11 minutes and 13 seconds. And with this loss, Sami Callihan retires from in-ring competition. Then the big fatal four-way match for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. The champions, the Elegance brand, defending against the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix of Fatal Influence, and Lei Ying Lee and Zaya Brookside. Winners of the match, 11 minutes and 22 seconds, and still the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. It is the Elegance brand. Then we had a no disqualification, no count-out match for the TNA International Championship. Champion Steve Macklin defending against Jake Something. Winner of the match, 12 minutes and 22 seconds, and still the TNA International Champion. It is Steve Macklin. TNA World Tag Team Championships on the line. Champions, the Hardys, Matt and Jeff defending against the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Myron Reed. Winners of the match, 11 minutes and 52 seconds, and still the TNA World Tag Team Champions. It is the Hardys. And in the main event of the evening, Trick Williams defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against the challenger and former multi-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion in his own right, Moose. Winner of the match, 16 minutes and 45 seconds, and still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Whoop that Trick. It's Trick Williams. So those are your results from TNA Emergence. And with that, we now move on to why you're all here, of course. That is Monday Night Raw. Last night, from the Yellow Elf, as MF always calls it. And I got to be honest here. That arena has undergone another name change. I mean, it's had so many names over the last, like, almost 30 years since that building opened. And It's now known as the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the home of the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers, of course. And of course, as is customary, we started it off, of course, with our obligatory in-ring promo segment, as it was The Vision. Following another beatdown of the top babyfaces in WWE, The Vision opened last night's show after some hype from Paul Heyman, who made his name with ECW in Philadelphia. He turned the mic over to World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, but the architect was interrupted immediately by main event Jey Uso's music and an enormous ovation for the former World Heavyweight Champion. Uso cut a promo calling Braun Breaker a little dog he will keep on the porch. Rollins fired up the badass, infuriating the second generation star. Heyman invoked the names of the Sandman, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, Tommy Dreamer, and the Dudley Boys, and Jey Uso accepted his challenge for an Extreme Rules match later in the night. I'll do the formal intro later. Heyman took a victory lap, basking in his successes and Hall of Fame contributions in the city of brotherly love. Heyman was fired up here, clearly feeding off the energy in the building and his latest stop in the city, in which he became the godfather of Extreme. That elevated the overall quality of this and kicked off the show on the right foot. And Breaker asking he's still alive in regards to Tommy Dreamer was another one of those hilarious comments we have seen from him in recent weeks. Solid start to the show here. Heyman, of course, the star. I mean, when that man speaks, we all listen, whether you like him or not. So, and I'm not at all surprised about the ECW tie-in. Honestly, I was expecting it. And sure enough, we got the obligatory ECW tie-in. Philadelphia, come on. So, solid way to start off the show. And if I know good old MF Michael Fletcher like I do, I'm sure he was very pleased with this opening segment as I give it to him. So, MF, Heyman, the star of the segment, as usual. And all of those. And, of course, the ECW name dropping. And it sets up a hell of a main event. Jey Uso and Braun Breaker under Extreme Rules.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're right. I definitely, you know, me being the ECW enthusiast of the group, and yes, I was very pleased to hear all those legendary names and everything that went down. It was a great way to start the show. Jey Uso is mega over, man. The Philadelphia was loving him, and the whole building was rocking. I loved how Seth Rollins was trying to manipulate Braun Breaker by basically saying, "You see, you know." Like really trying to get Braun under his skin, and it got to a point where Braun wanted to jump Jey, and they had to hold him back. Seth did too good of a job firing up the badass. So I thought that was a really good way to start the show, and yeah, I got really nothing more to say. So Michael Bullock, front and center, it is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good segment. I mean, obviously with the whole, I mean, obviously with this being, we're in the territory of ECW, and yeah, Heyman was hyped up, and then of course, obviously with the whole saying, oh, Tommy Dreamer, no, he's not dead, but he should be, and I'm like, oh boy. That's the last thing you want to do. I mean, to insult one of the greatest ECW superstars of all time, and Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, all I can say is, Heyman, you're lucky he's not even he wasn't in the arena or in WWE right now, because if he were, he'd probably be coming out with his famous kendo stick. And Fletch knows a lot about him when he's got that. And yeah. And obviously Jey Uso coming out, and yeah, and Seth Rollins was hyping Braun Breaker. I mean, sometimes a little too much, but I mean, come on, guys, be honest. do you really think Braun Breaker really needs hype with the way he is?
Absolutely not. He's a hothead. He's an animal.
Well, that's why he's the big dog, and I mean, he doesn't need any more added motivation. But yeah, when he gets that little extra motivation, all I can say is get the you know what out of his way, because when he's all hyped up, he wants to hurt somebody. Yeah, and he got hyped up too much to the point that, yeah, he wanted to jump and basically say, you know what, screw waiting till later. I'm gonna kick your ass right now. And Reed, Heyman, and Rollins like, no. Save it for the Extreme Rules match later on. So, good segment. So let's move on to the first matchup of the night.
And it was Io Sky squaring off against Raquel Rodriguez. Roxanne Perez in Raquel Rodriguez's corner. Winner of the match in an even 11 minutes. It is Io Sky with the over the moonsault. But then Raquel and Roxanne attacking Io after the match was over. And who comes out to make the save? None other than Rhea Bloody Ripley. Whoa. Okay, MF, business has just picked up in this situation with the ladies here.
Well, the thing is, this was exactly what Mommy came out because she was trying to defend her friend. But the one thing, if you notice, Asuka did not like that one bit, and she was not having it. So poor Io got caught in the crosshairs on an Asuka versus Rhea Ripley brawl. And look, because if you remember, Io was like, you know what? I want to do this on my own. I want to do this on my own. So just stay in the back and just let me fight because I can handle this. And obviously, Asuka and Kyrie both said yes. Okay, no problem. We got you. And everything went down, and the implosion happened. Where look, she got the win. She won it on her own. So good for her. But then the beatdown happened, and there was no Kyrie. There was no Asuka. But if you remember, she said, "I want to do this on my own. So please don't help me out in the brawl." Well, here comes Mommy, and she was not having it. She was like, you know what? She was going to come in and get involved just to even up the odds. And I think that's why Asuka got really pissed, because she's like, wait a minute. You said no help. What is this? So, and like I said, poor Io got caught in the crosshairs on that one. And yeah, she was not having it. She was not happy at all with the fight, and she's just bailed out. She's like, yep, you know what? You're on your own. I gotta get out of here. I don't care about this. So there's some tension already, and there already was some rumors about a possible heel turn for Asuka. Man, Asuka and Rhea Ripley? Ooh, that might be interesting, because if there's one person that could neutralize Rhea Ripley, it's the Empress of Tomorrow. She's the one person that could neutralize her. So we'll see. I don't know, but nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it is all yours, my friend.
What was the time?
11 minutes.
Yeah.
And by the way, it is a 3-star bout.
I'm gonna give this about 3 1/4. Yeah, this was a solid match here, and yeah, and like you said, right before the match, Io said, "Hey, I want to go out there on my own. I want to be able to handle my business here," and I think I don't know if I think Asuka. I mean, I think Io was telling them, "Don't come out and help her during the match." The match was over, and maybe this was the time that they could have came out, but I guess they were just heeding what Io was saying. But Rhea wasn't good. She wasn't going to just stand there and let Raquel and Roxanne beat the holy hell out of her. And yeah, like you said, Asuka was not happy about it. It was like, wait a minute. You told us not to be out there, and yet it's okay for Rhea Ripley to come out. But Rhea's like, yeah, where were the two of you when the match was over? So, and they were just going back and forth, and Io just couldn't take it anymore, and she just walked right out. And Asuka, she just simply said, "Stay the hell out of our business." But you saw the look on Kairi's face. It looked like she was ready to cry. I mean, the thing is, where does she stand with all this?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Be the wild card here.
That's a very good question.
I mean, does she side with Asuka, who she's been around, of course, with the Kabuki Warriors, or is she going to be to the point where, like, all right, Asuka, you're out of line. Io's the one that's right in this whole thing. So this is something we got to keep an eye on. Asuka's definitely turning heel. You could see it slowly but surely happening. The big question, again, is where does Kairi Sane stand in all this? Only time will tell. It is yours, Florio.
3 to 3 1/4. This was another strong match from Io Sky, who has been the measuring stick for in-ring performances in WWE this year. The post-match appeared to set up a tag team rivalry between the Judgment Day and the duo of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. While there is an argument to be made that anything Ripley does with her former faction at this point is a creative step back, it keeps her prominently featured in a stacked women's division. Raquel Rodriguez has low-key turned in a strong 2025, including in matches against Rhea Ripley and in tag team competition. And Michael Cole noted on commentary that this is the first one-on-one match between Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez on the main roster, which is astonishing given how many times they have been in the same place at the same time, going back to their NXT days. So definitely a 3 to 3 1/4 star bout. I agree with that. So with that being said, we move on to our next matchup. It was Penta squaring off against Xavier Woods of the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Grayson Waller in Xavier's corner. And the winner of the match, 9 minutes and 50 seconds, it is Penta. Michael Bullock, your thoughts? Penta defeating Xavier Woods in 9:50.
This was a solid 3-star bout. I mean, the outcome to me was never in doubt. You knew Penta was going over, but what about Xavier guys complaining about, oh, Penta should be fined for stealing my my hat? Well, first off, Xavier, that is the most ridiculous and ugly hat I've ever seen. Yes, I know it would fit me, but the thing is that hat is so big it would cover my damn face. That's the thing. I mean, you guys seen the size of that thing? I mean, holy smokes! So,
it looks like a dang chandelier, for goodness sake.
It did. I was about to say it too. Yeah.
So, yeah, that to me is like, all right. That is just. Let's just say, and I'll say it. That is one ugly ugly hat. So you really think Penta was going to pay that fine? No, absolutely not. So, yeah, paying a fine for stealing an ugly hat like that? Not a chance in hell, Xavier. It's yours, Florio.
Solid 3, teetering on 3 1/4 on this. it's absurd. This was fine for what it was, but the fans struggled to get into it until Penta's comeback and eventual victory. I think it's absurd that Penta, who once appeared to be one big win away from breaking through to the main event on Monday nights, took a back seat to the New Day's morning here. Just me. But, well, like I said, fine for what it was. Solid. I'm leaning more towards the solid 3 for that one, like Bullock said. So, solid 3 for me. MF, your thoughts? Penta over Xavier in 950.
Yeah, there's really not much to talk about here. I mean, it is a 3-star bout. I'll give you that. I thought it was a solid matchup. Could have it been better? Yes, but I'm not gonna be very hard on it. I like everybody else is. And I thought they did a fine job with it. I thought it was a good matchup. There's really nothing more to add here. And Anthony, I give it back to you.
All right, MF, and we move on now. Okay, non-title matchup. World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough with the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio in their corner, squaring off against Dragon Lee and straight out of AAA, Mr. Iguana and yes, La Yesca was not far behind. So, winners of the match, another 9-minute and 50-second match. It was Finn Balor and JD McDonough winning the matchup. And I'll tell you what, this was a good match that added AAA talent to the show, a booking move that will only further help attract new eyes to the historic Lucha Libre promotion. And I'm going to tell you what, I know we're not going to get into this until Friday night as part of MF's Mikey's Mindset on the Cerebral Smack Talk, because I know he's going to share the results of Triple Mania. But I got to admit, I saw the show. It's a thumbs up. It was a thumbs up for me. I got to admit. I mean, I'm loving that WWE partnership. I'm loving it. I mean, I never saw a Triple Mania show. I can now say I've seen a Triple Mania show. I saw it on the YouTube channel. And then the big announcement was made that on Friday night, September the 12th, immediately following SmackDown, they're doing another Worlds Collide, and it will be in Las Vegas. And Dominic Mysterio will challenge El Hijo del Vikingo one-on-one for the AAA Mega Campeón. So there you go. So look at this. Friday night, September the 12th. You got SmackDown at 8 on USA. And then immediately following that at 10, hop on over to the YouTube channel and you can watch WWE Worlds Collide from Las Vegas, including Vikingo and Dum Dum for that AAA Mega Campeón. So look forward to seeing how the rest of the card will play out. But for right now, another solid 3, teetering on 3.25. So MF, what do you make of all that?
I think it's going to be very interesting. I liked how everything played out. I thought it was a very good matchup. To get Mr. Iguana on the show is awesome. The only downside that I thought of everything that went down was where on earth was Dimelito? Well, if anybody, you know what? I'll wait till Friday to talk about Dimelito and why that was such a monster hit at Triple Mania. But it was a solid performance. To see Balor and JD win, no big surprise. You know, they deserve the victory here. They're keeping their momentum hot, and that's exactly what they need to do. And now you just got to see how it plays out. But I mean, now the question becomes is what's next? We will see how it plays out. But at the end of the day, I thought they did a very good job with it. I enjoyed it. So this was another 3-star bout. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
And I got to tell you, Fletch, I mean, I even watched that Triple Mania as well. on YouTube, and just like Anthony Florio, it's a thumbs up for me. I mean, ever since this merger, I've really started to get hooked onto this. I mean, with these great lucha libre wrestlers that you see, especially Mr. Iguana. Now I can see why you're so much into this, Fletch.
And the good thing is that we've only just scratched the surface. Like now that with WWE involved, get ready for more. I mean, and I'll tell you, I know a lot of people in Mexico hasn't been very receptive of WWE because they kind of feel like they've lost their little luster of the company because, you know, when AAA did their thing about 30 years ago with Antonio Pena, he's the creator of AAA. He was the one that started this, that started all this because he wanted it to break away from CMLL. That's been the biggest company in the world, CMLL. And they were together and they wanted it to break away from CMLL because they wanted it to bring their brand of wrestling, their brand of lucha libre. That's why AAA became what they were. You can say that CMLL is more like WWE, and you can say AAA is like a WCW or an AEW or a one of these secondary companies that they want to create and bring something better than what their original company was. And the thing is that what made AAA work is because they are unabashful. They weren't afraid to take risks, to do things that is, you know, out of right field. And a lot of people are gravitating toward it because they started doing things that, you know, at the time the company was like, you know, let's just go for it. So when Antonio Pena died, everybody's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? That's why Carlos Rodan took over the company with Maricel Pena, and that's the sister of Antonio Pena, who ended up being the wife. That was the husband and wife. So they started taking the company over, and they were able to evolution it, and that's why. And Anthony, you know this, Barrett. You know this because they were the reasons why Lucha Underground started. That's where Anthony kind of dipped his toe into Lucha Libre, was because of Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground is a bypass or a product of AAA. A lot of the guys that you saw on Lucha Underground was actually wrestlers for AAA, like Pentagon, like a Rey Fenix, like a Rey Mysterio, like a King Cuerno. All these guys were all from AAA. Huh?
JC Mateo when he was Matanza Cuerta, the monster.
Well, yes, these were guys that was firmly in the company of AAA, and that's why that was the first moment that AAA kind of dipped their toe into United States, was because of Lucha Underground. But the thing was, it never materialized beyond that. It wasn't until WWE said, you know what? Let's do this. I like what you guys are doing. And the problem was, and the thing that really is the kicker, was AEW dipped their toe in it first, and they almost had a working relationship with AAA. They had a working relationship. And the thing was, for some odd reason, it never worked out. So AAA decided, you know what? We're going to go to CMLL. We're going to work with them exclusively, and we're going to work with them and do their thing. AAA was floundering and everything else, and then all of a sudden, WWE sees that, and they're like, you know what? I know we worked once in 1997, Vince McMahon worked with AAA back in 1997, and that's why you saw a lot of the guys from AAA in the Royal Rumble back in 97 because there was a working relationship. They never worked ever again because AAA thought WWE was being not so friendly with the way that they were positioning their guys. So that led to a whole breakup back in 97. And now AAA is back with WWE, but this time WWE acquired them and they gave them their biggest show ever, Triple Mania, and by all accounts,
get it for free on YouTube.
Well, not just that, but by all accounts, this was by far to date the most successful Triple Mania they've ever had, even as a show or a production. Normally, this show is considered the worst show of the year in WWE standards. And there's some people out there, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but there's some people that says that this year's Triple Mania may be even better than WrestleMania.
I tend to agree.
That's never happened in the history of the Triple Mania, and they've been doing this for 33 years. They've never outdid WrestleMania. Never have outdone WrestleMania. This is the first time that I can remember where people are saying that Triple Mania was better than WrestleMania.
What says you?
That means you definitely got something right if you did that.
Yeah, what says you? Do you agree with that?
You know what? I feel like as a whole, okay, but I want to pump the brakes too. But the thing is, me being the diehard from AAA, I want to be very careful with the way I preface this because it was good. I liked Triple Mania. I loved the show as a production. I thought they did an incredible job. I think they did better than, they even blew I had low expectations for this event, and they exceeded my expectations. But to call it better than WrestleMania, I tend to disagree. I will tend that Mania is still better. It's still better. However, with this acquirementship, or whatever you want to call this, between AAA and WWE, I think this is the first real good step that I've seen from AAA, and I'm very excited for what the future is going to hold, because coming out of Triple Mania, I think it's going to be amazing. And even Triple H said it. Look, we're not going to take over. We're not going to change your style of wrestling. We're not doing any of that. We're just here to help you get the outlet, to give you the outlet that you guys never got. And that's exactly what they need. They used to be on Univision. They used to be on Univision. They need an outlet. They need a network. They need somebody to put their stuff on TV. Not just Space TV in Mexico. Not just HBO Max in Mexico. We need something in the United States so that the fans can see what I have seen for the last 15 to 20 years. Because that's how long I've been following AAA.
And I'll tell you, I mean, this is why, I mean, I'm really starting to like it because of this, especially with this partnership that Triple H has done with AAA. And that's why he deserves major kudos for it. So, I mean, I think the only thing that would have made Triple Mania better, well, I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, I don't know if I should. I mean, unless you want to just save it for when you recap it Friday night, Fletch.
Well, we're definitely going to recap it on Friday. But if it's not a spoiler, then go right ahead.
Well, it's just because of what happened with the main event.
Okay, we'll save it for Friday.
Yeah, save it for Friday.
Yeah, we'll save that for Friday.
I'm just saying. I think what happened with the main event, I think, was a bit down.
Well, I will give you. You know what? Wait till Friday because I have something about that, and
Alrighty.
I'm gonna basically unveil the velvet rope on that, and I'm about to scorch earth on a few people when it comes to that. Because no, it's not a Cerebral Viper rant. Before anybody starts thinking that it's a Viper rant, it's not. But there is something that I feel that needed to be addressed, or there's a little bit of a quote unquote elephant in the room.
All right, but anywho, 3 star, 3.25 for the match. So it's yours, Florio.
All right. We move on now to the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. The champion. Yep. Then we had another Bayley video, obviously, teasing her heel turn, obviously, and then we move on to the Women's Intercontinental Championship matchup. Becky Lynch defending against Natalya, Maxine Dupree and Akira Tozawa in Natalya's corner. Winner of the match, 7 minutes and 50 seconds, and still the Women's Intercontinental Champion. It is Becky Lynch. But after the match was over, Becky took out her frustrations on not only Natalya, but also on Maxine Dupree and her Nikki Bella for the save. So there's no doubt about it. Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella are on a collision course for that Women's Intercontinental Championship. Most likely Paris, but we'll see. So not much more to add on to it. MF, only fitting you started off. You're the Becky fan of the group here. And your girl did it again. She defeats Natalya 750, still the Women's Intercontinental Champion, but Nikki Bella up next.
Yeah, no, and that was the big thing about the whole spiel is that now Nikki is gonna possibly be the next one in line for the title shot. I know a lot of people are like, really, Nikki Bella, but it is what it is, man. I'm not mad at it. I think they did a really good job with it, but it is what it is, and yeah, so I got really nothing more to say on it. It was a solid matchup. The outcome was never in doubt, but I will give a lot of credit to Natalya for turning it into quite a fight, man. She did a real good job with that, but the champion remains the champion, much to the delight of myself and much to the chagrin of the rest of the fellas. But yeah, I thought they did a really good job with it, and yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So Anthony Florio, it was about I'm gonna say about a 2.5 to 3, and really nothing more to say. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, it's about a 2.5 star match. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt, but like you said, after the match, I mean, for Becky, it wasn't enough for her. She wanted to do more harm to Natalya and especially Maxine Dupree, and basically why she's proving why she doesn't want anybody to overtake her, or that she wants to hold people down. Because she says, until I retire or when I say it's time, nobody's going to overtake me. But Nikki Bella, obviously seeing her friends getting attacked, and she took action and basically hit the rack attack, and yeah, she's next in line for the shot. And let's just say, guys, because remember, this is now personal with Becky and Nikki Bella because of all the shots they threw at each other, especially Becky taking a shot where basically saying, "Oh wait, you can't see him anymore." Now that to me was when it got personal. When she did that. it would have even gotten very more personal if she brought up the one who she was married to. That's all I'll say. I mean, you guys know the shtick by now.
Mm-hmm.
So if she had gone there with that, I would have said, okay, that's out of bounds. So yeah. Even though this is for the the big question here, guys, does Nikki Bella really want to win the title, or does she want to beat some respect into Becky Lynch?
I say a little bit of both.
She's never been a women's intercontinental champion. This would be the first time in her career she ever won the title. But the thing is that, yeah, is it? You make a valid point, Michael Bullock. Is she really there for the title, or is she there just because she's pissed off at Becky Lynch because of what Becky said? I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. There's definitely a revenge factor that's definitely there, but we just got to wait and see.
Yeah, that's going to be the telling thing. If she hadn't said that, I'd say she's going to try to take the title. But I think now, because of the insult, I'm like, yeah, I think she won. I mean, Nikki Bella's going to have to make a choice. Either she tries to win the title, or it's about trying to beat some respect into Becky after those asinine remarks she made. So we'll see what happens. 2.5 stars. It's yours for you.
Becky Lynch and Natalya have had better matches, including a hidden gem at SummerSlam 2019 when they had that submission match. They are capable of show stealers, so it was interesting to see this match take the form it did, with the man essentially walking over the Queen of Hearts, assuming that shoulder injury was not legit. So 2.5, teetering on 2 3/4 of a star for this. And then after that, backstage, another brawl featuring Sheamus and Rusev ended with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce losing his mind and announcing that at Clash in Paris, Sheamus and Rusev, and I believe I had this one, gentlemen, good old-fashioned Donnybrook.
You called that, Florio.
We were hoping for it. We were praying for it. We got it. A good old-fashioned Donnybrook. Let's go.
Indeed.
Can a match be labeled a banger before it happens? I think so.
Oh, it's already as soon as Adam Pearce said it, I'm like, it's definitely gonna be a banger.
Yeah, agreed.
And as Bullock and I always say, angry Adam Pearce is the best Adam Pearce. Did you see how angry he got during that?
Oh my gosh. He was so angry, I thought the veins were gonna pop out of him.
I thought so too. So
this is why I've said, don't get on Adam Pearce's bad side, or what you saw last night could happen to anybody.
Mm.
But there
and normally I could probably get angry, and I normally get into that kind of an attitude. I do not want to. Honestly, I do not want to mess with Adam Pearce when he gets like that. Nope. Even the Cerebral Viper would stand down to Adam Pearce.
You were throwing the towel and like.
I'd be like, yep, screw.
Yep, you win this.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it, folks. Sheamus versus Rusev, Clash in Paris, good old-fashioned Donnybrook. Nothing more to say there. It's going to be something. Oh, and it's about to get better here. This was the moment we were all waiting for. General Roger, and speaking of Adam Pearce, he was in the ring, and he introduced the woman of the night, the woman of the hour, the women's world champion, Naomi. Chants of Naomi rained down from the stands as the women's world champion took to the squared circle to address the WWE Universe. She directed the fans' attention to the video screen, where she and her husband, Jimmy Uso, told Stephanie McMahon on a special edition of her What's Your Story podcast confirming what we all expected and already knew. It is, and in Adam Pearce's words, it is official. She is pregnant. But instead of taking the predictable route of being a straightforward babyface, she healed it up, refusing to hand over the title and literally dismissing Adam Pearce. She said the bloodline will continue and laid her Women's World Championship belt in the center of the ring. And then Naomi warned the locker room she will be coming back for her title, even if it means holding her baby while she does it. So, Michael Bullock, it was pretty much we were all expecting this. We were all thinking, oh, what's the story? What's the story? Well, we had a feeling that this was it, and it is official. She is pregnant. What does this now mean for the Women's World Championship?
Yeah, the thing is, we had a feeling about it, but we wanted to wait to hear from Naomi herself. And it was like you said on that special bonus episode of What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon, which is out right now on YouTube, where they make the announcement that that Jimmy and Naomi are expecting their first child. And all I can say is, on behalf of all of us, we want to congratulate Jimmy and Naomi and wish them the best as they are about to become parents for the first time ever. And yeah, that family is definitely gonna grow more now with this addition to the family. But instead of the traditional route, I mean, Naomi channeled her heelish route and basically said, and she laid her title down and basically said, when I'm ready to come back, I'm taking that belt back. And even you said it, Fletch, in your video that you did, that she's probably going to be going 9 months, who knows, maybe even longer with this. I mean, so we may not see her again till maybe early spring, maybe late spring or early summer of 2026. Because I think it all depends on how she is after she gives birth to this beautiful baby. And of course, like you said, now the $1 million question is, what happens with the women's world title? I mean, Adam Pearce is going to address it next week. But here's something that I think, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it. Remember, last week, Io Sky was supposed to face Naomi, but that match got canceled because she wasn't, quote unquote, cleared. And let's not forget another thing too. Stephanie Vaquer was supposed to face whoever the winner was at Clash in Paris. I think, and I don't know how realistic this is, maybe you have Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky face off, and the winner becomes the brand new women's world champion.
I thought of that, Michael Bullock. The only problem is that I think they're going to want to open this up. If I'm Adam Pearce now, either you do one or two things. A tournament to determine the champion, where the final would be held at Clash at Paris, or you do a battle royale, open it up to every woman in the WWE, and the last person standing becomes the new women's world champion.
But
that's the only way this gets decided.
What does that mean for Stephanie Vaquer? Because she was supposed to face
you put her in that opportunity. You put her in the match. She is guaranteed a spot on that card no matter what. Io is the same thing. You have to put them both in because they were guaranteed opportunities at the title. By doing it this way, you got both women in so they get an equal shot. it does open the door for every other woman. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, this may lead to some trouble. But the thing is that WWE got caught in a bind. And this is the most logical way to do it. And I think this is the most correct way to do it, by letting Io and Stephanie be in either a tournament or a battle royale, and then let them decide who the champion is right then and there. I think to do a one-on-one would be fine, but it also might hurt, because then you'll be like, wait a minute, what about for the other women? Why don't they get the opportunity? This is one of those where you got to really walk on eggshells here, but I kind of feel like either a tournament or like a mini tournament or a battle royale, but I feel like the battle royale is probably the best way to go, and let all the women in and give them an opportunity for this title.
Yeah, but if there's this battle royal and Stephanie Vaquer gets eliminated,
then she's guaranteed.
Does she lose her chance to challenge at Clash in Paris? Because then she's gonna be like, wait a minute. I was guaranteed and now because I got eliminated means it's not going to happen.
The problem in this situation is, unfortunately, there's contingency plans. This wasn't expected. And I hate to say this, but that's wrestling for you, folks. I mean, there's nothing you can do. And I know the Stephanie fans are going to jump on me for this, but she's getting an opportunity at the title. That's exactly what you guys wanted.
And if it means losing her chance to do it at the Clash in Paris,
well, no, because But again, this is why I'm preaching about the Battle Royale in Paris. Because then at that point, there's no excuse. You're giving her shot at the title in Paris. That's what I'm preaching about. You can't do this next week on Raw. There's no time. You do this in Paris. You do this at Clash at Paris. That's what I'm alluding to.
Oh, I thought you were talking about maybe on a Monday Night Raw.
No, Bullock.
No. Overthinking it, Bullock.
Yes. No. You do this in Clash at Paris. You do this in Paris, and you open it up. Every woman on the Raw roster gets a shot in this Battle Royale. The winner of this Battle Royale becomes the new Women's World Champion. No ifs, no ands, no buts.
Undisputed.
End of quotation, end of discussion, period.
Okay.
What else is there to say?
Yeah, I would do some kind of rebuttal, but after that, I think this is where I end it right here.
Exit, stage left, right?
Yeah, like Snagglepuss would say, exit, stage left. It's yours, Florio.
Oh, my goodness. Well, how do you follow that? With an Ernie giggle, courtesy of MF. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, that was epic. Oh, that was well played. Well played, Bullock. I'll give you that.
We're falling off the rails. Oh, my God.
Oh, that was so good.
Well, I had to give it a shot.
No, you did. You got me. You got me, bro. Well played. Well played.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that was epic.
Oh. Well, like Regis said, how do you follow that?
You cannot follow that, Anthony. There's no way you can follow that. Holy cow.
Well, in the immortal words of Mr. Ben Stein, I shall do my best. And I will do my best. No one, and I mean no one, wants to see a performer leave in the midst of their greatest run. But nonetheless, congratulations to Naomi and Jimmy Uso on their family-based announcement. In true Naomi fashion, this was a fantastic promo that meshed her outstanding character work with the genuine woman who has won fans over every time she has had the opportunity to show them who she is. And for this was, for me, this was definitely the segment of the night. Although the opener was just as good. But for me, this was the segment of the night. This was very well done. And we wish Naomi the absolute best. And we all anxiously await Adam Pearce's decision on what to do with the Women's World Championship. I think that if you put the gun to my head and ask me what I think is the best option, I agree with everything MF said. I think it should be a battle royale. I think it's probably going to be a battle royale. They've done battle royales to crown a new champion after the champion had vacated. It's been done many times before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. So maybe in Paris, I don't know. We'll see, but we'll see what happens come Monday afternoon. Yes, I did say Monday afternoon. I'll get to that in just a moment. But all right, let's see. Moving on here. Let's see. We got to get going here. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right. Next Monday, Monday Night Raw will be Monday afternoon Raw. This Monday's Raw will start at a very special start time of 3 p.m. Eastern from Birmingham, England. And 2 matches have been announced for next week's show. Penta will go one-on-one with the other half of the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Rhea Bloody Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. Woo! That's going to be something. And you got to imagine we'll get a decision or a ruling from General Manager Adam Pearce regarding the future of the Women's World Championship after Naomi's relinquishing of the title. So that is that. And we move on to the big main event of the evening. Main event, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Paul Heyman in his corner. And this match contested under Extreme Rules. And the winner of the match in 20 minutes and 30 seconds. That's 20 and a half minutes. Yeet. Main event, Jey Uso. And then, of course, we had our traditional craziness after the show, after the match was over. CM Punk got involved. LA Knight got involved. Seth freaking Rollins got involved. And then the OTC, Roman Reigns. Okay. Fight of the night, obviously. 4 1/4, teetering on 4.5 stars. This was a fun ECW style brawl that featured plunder, but also highlighted the stars and stories on the brand. It paid homage to a particular kind of match from a historic company while hyping 2 huge bouts for August 31st in France. And you notice Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed, they exchanged words after the match, vowing to see each other in Paris and seemingly setting up another Clash at Paris match. And that's all there is to say on this. So, fight of the night, 4 1/4, teetering on 4.5 stars. Excellent main event. Excellent Extreme Rules match. A lot of craziness at the end, as usual, but it is what it is. So, not much more to say. MF, Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker in an Extreme Rules match. 20 and a half minutes. Wow.
4 stars for me. Incredible main event. Great matchup. Body of work was absolutely phenomenal. It brought everything. We all loved it. We were eating it up. And then, the craziness where you had, Punk showed up. Everybody was getting involved. And then the OTC, the Tribal Chief, the ones were in the sky when he came out. And, he was after Bronson for one reason. Why? Because Bronson not only thieved 1 pair of his kicks, he thieved 2 pairs of the kicks, $900 a piece. Roman's out after him for that. And that was an amazing way to close the show. It was wild. It was crazy. It was exactly everything it needed it to be. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Yeah, great way to close Monday Night Raw here tonight. Michael Bullock, it's yours, man.
Time of the fall, 20:30. 20 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, 4.25. I mean, this was definitely the fight of the night. A great Extreme Rules match. I mean, yeah, you expected all kinds of craziness. I mean, we had LA Knight, you had CM Punk, Bronson Reed, Seth freaking Rollins, and of course the appearance of the OTC, Roman Reigns. And yeah, you saw afterwards that the exchange, it looks like it's going to be the OTC and Bronson Reed at Clash in Paris. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say on it. So let's get into our overall thoughts on this edition of Monday Night Raw.
And MF starts it off.
Solid Raw, no doubt about it. I could probably say this was about a 7.5 out of 10. I thought the action was really good. I thought they did a really good job with the storylines and everything leading up. Obviously, the biggest story of the night was Naomi, the pregnancy announcement, and that definitely was such a feel-good moment. And she deserved all the love and the support. But I really love the fact that she played the heel character and she still played it all the way to its very end. And then threw some not so PG moments that was nod, wink, wink. If you knew it, you knew it. And there's really nothing more to add on that. That was absolutely phenomenal. I got a good kick out of it more than anything else. But they did a really good job with it. Solid show. I really enjoyed it, and there's really nothing more to add on that one. So it's all yours, Michael Bullock. I'll give it 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, 7.5 for me as well. I mean, I thought it was a good show. I mean, there were some things I thought could have been better, but all in all, really not that much to complain about, especially now as we get closer and closer to Clash in Paris. So, Florio, you take it home before we get into NXT.
After a show that felt way too much like a placeholder last week, this was more like it. This one got things back on track with a fun main event, storyline progression, a hot close to the show, and the huge announcement from Naomi. Not everything was perfect as it became bogged down in the middle, but it recovered nicely and sent fans home excited about the upcoming Clash in Paris pay-per-view rather than treating it like just another show. So this was a solid 7.5 out of 10, teetering on 8. So with that being said, let's quickly get into NXT here. We are just days away from NXT Heatwave, so plenty of time was spent hyping the show, but WWE still had to make sure tonight's episode had enough meat on the bone. So let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's edition of NXT. And this was one of their special shows. This was one of those special shows where they step outside the CWC. And this was live from the Met in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we started it off with a Philadelphia street fight. Yoshiki Inamura squaring off against Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs wins the match. 15 minutes and 53 seconds to start it off. Hey, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star for me. I got to tell you, both men did a good job selling the personal nature of their feud. With Heatwave coming up Sunday night, it was shocking that this match wasn't saved for that event. It feels like one of NXT's better storylines. But, it is what it is. Fun and energetic way to get the show going. And that's really all I can say on that. So 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star. MF, Josh Briggs, opening things with a victory over Yoshiki Inamura in a street fight, 15:53. Wow.
Yeah, 3.5 is the correct rating. I thought they did a really good job. Solid action, really good way to start it. And there's really nothing more to add here. So I think they played it as good as they could. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give this about 3.5 stars as well. This was definitely a great way to jump off this edition of NXT, and it was a little surprising that they didn't save this for Heatwave, but obviously because this was in Philadelphia, and obviously they needed to get it off with a match like this, and obviously this was a good way. And a little memo to Josh Briggs. You could see he spat on the Philadelphia Phillies baseball bat. Don't you ever do that in front of these in front of the Philadelphia fans, because you know how they are when they feel like their team's being disrespected. Philly fans can be, well,
Pretty ruthless.
And yeah, the last thing you want to do, Josh Briggs, is get on their bad side, and you may have just done that. Sorry about that, but
even though as an Atlanta Braves fan, I totally condemn. I as much as I may condemn it, I'm not losing any sleep over it either, because even though it's a family show, you already know how I feel about the Phillies as an Atlanta Braves fan.
You don't need to rehash that. We get it. So there's really nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
All right, and we move on to our next match, which was Ricky Saints squaring off against the winner, the men's winner of LFG Season 1, Jasper Troy. And Ricky Saints wins the match 9 minutes and 16 seconds. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I thought they did a fine job with this one too. I thought it was, it was solid for what it was worth. I give this about maybe about 2.5 stars. Could have been better, yes, but I thought I thought it was a fine match. 2.25, 2.5 to 2.75 of a star. Bullock, it's yours.
What was the time?
9:16. I was about to tell you the time was 9:16.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine match here. I'll give this about maybe 2.5 for the effort here. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
2.5 to 3. Typical big guy, smaller guy match. Saints is not that small, so it tells you how big Troy is to put him in that position. Jasper Troy's inexperience definitely came into play. Saints did a good job trying to mask it, but there was a notable lack of chemistry between them. They didn't look too bad working together, but give Jasper Troy a year, and most of the mistakes in this match won't be a problem. So I will definitely give that about 2.5 to teetering on 3 for that. All right. Jordynne Grace came to the ring and talked about her career and being duped into thinking a friendship in pro wrestling could work with Blake Monroe. She said she doesn't care about revenge, but she does want to show Monroe exactly who she is. And that brought out Blake Monroe with her Gestapo security guards. Monroe tried to insult her rival, but Grace pointed out that she was in the ring at Evolution while Monroe was on the sidelines, which made her jealous. Grace took out the security to end the segment. Pretty cookie cutter segment, fine for what it was. I mean, we're not going to really, waste too much time on that. So we know they'll be squaring off at Heatwave on Sunday night. So we move on now to our next match. NXT versus TNA here. 6-woman tag team match. Fatal Influence. NXT and TNA Knockouts champion Jacy Jayne, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix versus the Elegance brand. The TNA Knockout Tag Team Champions, Ash, Heather, and M by Elegance, with the personal concierge, George Iceman, in their corner. Special guest referee. This came out of left field. This literally came about at the 11th hour here. special guest referee Masha Slamovich. And the winners of the match, in 10 minutes and 50 seconds, it was Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence picking up the win. So Michael Bullock, score one for NXT against TNA. Fatal Influence over the Elegance brand, 1050.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I mean, I'll give this about maybe 3 for the effort here. I mean, yeah, the outcome was never in doubt with the Fatal Influence winning this one. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
The match was back and forth most of the time. Both teams had some opportunities to be in control, so all 6 women had time in the ring. But Ash by Elegance definitely did the heavy lifting for her team, since she was the most recognizable talent on her side. While this match had some slow points and a few weak moments, overall it was an enjoyable fight. All 6 women had their own moments to shine, but we also got to see different combinations work together in fun ways. So, and it was the first time the entire Elegance brand was on NXT. So M and Heather will be new to many fans. So that's really all I can say on that. So this is about 3 to 3 1/4 for the effort. So not much more to say. MF, your thoughts as Fatal Influence defeats the Elegance brand in 1050.
Now, normally I would be yelling, "What a highway robbery! What a catastrophe this is! How on earth how on earth Fatal Influence beat the Elegance brand and the whole 9 yards?" And I was definitely doing that on commentary tonight, annoying the daylights out of Michael Bullock. But at the end of the day, it was a fine matchup. Yeah, this is about 3 stars. I can give you that, and really nothing more to add. So, Anthony, back to you.
All right. Then we had Ethan Page and Chelsea Green came out with some new combined entrance music for their Peace Treaty segment with the women's LFG Season 1 winner, Tyra May Steele and Tavion Heights. Page started off by complimenting Heights and putting over his work before saying he despises how he feels disrespected by him. They exchanged a lot of words, but nothing new was said in this segment until the end when General Manager Ava came out and finally booked a mixed tag team match between all 4 of these competitors to take place at Heatwave this Sunday night. It will be North American champion Ethan Page and Chelsea Green squaring off against Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. Mixed tag Sunday night Heatwave. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green were both their usual entertaining selves, and the brief fight at the end was a good way to wrap it up. But honestly, it could have been half as long as accomplished the same things. So we don't really need to, dive any further into that. So then a lot of backstage stuff happened, and so a lot of stuff here. Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan backstage, and Lash Legend showed up, and so Ava said that it would be Lash Legend versus Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Lola Vice in a contenders match at Heatwave. And then Dark State, Joe Henry shows up, and Dark State, of course, will be 2 members of Dark State will be challenging Hank and Tank for those NXT Tag Team Championships. And then they ran down the Heatwave card, of course, and then we had the main event, the big main event, the number 1 contendership for the NXT Championship. The TNA World Heavyweight Champion Trick Williams squaring off against Javon Evans. The winner will challenge Oba Femi for the NXT Championship this Sunday night at Heatwave. And the winner of the match in 14 minutes and 51 seconds, Javon Evans. And it was all because of Mike Santana. Okay. Wow. 3.5 stars for the effort here. I'll tell you what. There was one moment during this match. It seemed like an even matchup until Trick Williams shoved Javon Evans off the top rope and he went flying through the announce table in one of the wildest spots we have seen outside of a PLE in quite some time. So wild that it made Michael Bullock do the "oh my god" on this, and he did it. He did it such justice. You saw the look on MF's face. MF was like, "Whoa, okay," because you saw the look on Booker's face. That's the same exact look MF had at that moment. But 3.5 stars, and Mike Santana getting the payback on Trick, obviously, because we all know what happened at Slammiversary. The table spot Evans had was nuts. He went flying off the top rope, right through the announce table, and he almost went past it because he flew too far. But nonetheless, excellent main event. The right guy won, and I think for the first time in a very long time, Alba could be in trouble. Alba could be in trouble because Javon Evans is going to give Alba major fits on Sunday night. There's a very realistic chance the young OG could make history. There is a chance, but we'll see. I'll get more into that on Friday. But for right now, this is another 3.5. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars for the effort. But I don't know what else there is to say. MF, Javon Evans, biggest win of his career in NXT to date. Could it lead to an even bigger win on Sunday night as he defeats Trick Willie in 1451 thanks to a distraction from Mike Santana?
I think it could, and I really think that. And the one thing that you also got to remember is, Oba was also looking at Trick Williams about maybe a title unification. I could actually see Trick actually blowing this up and costing Oba the title. Yes. So this definitely could lead to a possible new champion. We never know. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But it's very possible, no doubt. 3 stars, more than anything else. I think they did a really good job with it, and I really feel like it should definitely be very interesting to watch. So nothing more to say, and Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars as well. I mean, yeah, this was the right outcome because this had to be Javon Evans' time. I mean, I think a lot of people would have been upset if Trick Williams were the one that went over and ended up facing Obafemi for the title at Heatwave. So, but yeah, a big win for Javon Evans. Could it lead to a bigger win at Heatwave? We'll see. So, there's really nothing more to say. Florio, it's time for overall thoughts on this edition of NXT.
And just like with Raw, MF starts it off again.
And actually, this was solid. I thought this was better than I thought. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say it. I think this was 7.5. I thought this was a fine, good show. I think there was only maybe one bad moment in the whole night. A lot of it was pretty solid. You kind of feel like tonight was a very focused NXT, probably better than we've had in recent months. Because there wasn't anything bad. It was good action. There wasn't anything that was a mess throughout the entire evening. So I kind of feel like they did a really good job with it. So yeah, nothing more to say. As Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. I mean, 7 to 7.5 for me as well. So yeah, there was one, maybe two bad things, but yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was a solid enough effort here. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for me. I will say this though. Tonight's NXT somewhat uneventful, but it had a couple of moments that stood out. Ava booking a mixed tag match for Heatwave rounded out the card for that event. A handful of feuds were addressed, and a new number one contender was decided. The two best things on the show ended up being the first match and the main event. Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura opened the episode with an entertaining street fight that the Philly crowd loved, and the show ended with Trick Williams and Javon Evans having a fantastic match. Heatwave should be a decent show with the card WWE has put in place, but NXT's weekly shows have been lacking some of the excitement that once made the brand must-see TV every week. If it can find a way to regain that, NXT could become the best brand in WWE again. Right now, Javon Evans is one of the hottest prospects WWE has on the roster. If he can keep himself healthy and limit dangerous spots like the one he had on this show tonight, he could have a long and fruitful career. 7 to 7.5, all the matches. I didn't see one bad match. Those couple of segments were especially that peace treaty segment. But it is what it is. So 7.5 for NXT, and that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. Thursday night, TXN Sports World is back. The hiatus is over. We will be back on Thursday night at 10:30 for TXN Sports World, our regulation season finale, where we will be previewing the college football and NFL seasons, and time permitting, MF will set the table for the Big 3 championship game that goes down on Sunday afternoon on CBS and Paramount Plus from Orlando, Florida. We'll get into that, time permitting, of course. And then Friday night, we'll head on over to MF's channel, Brace Fay 95. We got a loaded edition of Cerebral Smack Talk. We got TNA Impact. We got Friday Night SmackDown. We're going to preview NXT Heatwave. I know MF will share the results of the Triple Mania. And again, time permitting, we will also get into RWA Legacy that goes down this Saturday night at the Johnston Rec Center. So a loaded show there, and then we'll get back to you with the rest of the content. So that is it. So until Thursday night for the regulation season finale of TXN Sports World, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, of course, always and forever, our First Lady of Talking Wrestling TXN, the one and only Twisted Angel Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Force style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Thursday night, for TXN Sports World, you have been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.